안녕하십니까. 저는 아빌리아라고 합니다. 이번에는 기말고사 위해서 저희 프로젝트 발표를 시작하겠습니다. If you want to know more about my presentation, you can scan this QR code first to access my folder. In my folder, it contains source code explanation, PPT, then PPT and 기술문서. Yeah, it's my opening. I'm Avilia, and this is my presentation. I will start my presentation. 목차는 8개 있습니다. First, where to access my project. The second is summary of project development. The third is Gide Yoga. The fourth is tools. And the fifth, the code 설명, source code explanation, 완성도, and of course difficulties. Where to see my project? If you want to know my source code, my detailed source code, you can go to GitHub and clone this link to know all my project. I think it's more simpler if you GitHub, and also if you use GitHub, 다른 사람은 볼 수 있고, and your project can be exposed to other people. So the people who need similar project can learn from your repository. 과 과제 개발 요약, summary of my project development. This customer service project developed using NLP or natural language processing. It's hugely responsible for enabling such chatbot to understand the dialect of undertones to understand the dialect and undertone of human conversation. NLP combined with artificial intelligence creates a truly intelligent chatbot that can respond to nuanced questions and learn from every interaction to create better suited responses. AI-based contextual chatbot that will maintain the context or in which sense or proportion the user is asking a query. Further, using deep learning technique in Python, we construct a sequential model for our training set data. The intent, pattern, and response will be all used to train the chatbot. This user's query will be mapped to the instance class using neural networks, which will maintain context and then return a random response. Expected effect or Kide Hyuga. I hope that with a chatbot that is developed using AI, when a customer accesses the website and has questions, they can be answered immediately through the chatbot feature provided via Telegram and can reduce the use of human resources as a customer service. A helpful chatbot that functions as a user helper. First, help the user or the customer in choosing cycling event. And the second one is answer questions that related about cycling event. And the third one, assist the event committee in finding information other department committees. Tools. In my development, I use Visual Studio for code editor, and for Kasa Huangkyong, or in English is virtual environment, I use Anaconda. Then for code hosting platform, I use GitHub. I already explained why I use GitHub. It's because it's more simple and everyone use it that way. For the language, I mainly use Python. The dataset we use Rasa and LU. You can search it into GitHub for this training data. Then I use Telegram for my project development. Source code Silheng Bangpok. Even though my project hasn't been finished and cannot be run like expected, but as you know, we will I still in learning phase, so I think it's no problem if you made a fail for the project because you are still beginner, you still have lot of time to learn. So I think it's good as it's this project give me good experience about how to develop a chatbot in complicated way, not in simple way because it's really complicated and I need to do it alone, learn from internet, search in Google, YouTube, GitHub or so on. So then this is how to still hang the source code even though my project cannot run. First, you need to clone my repository and then created a virtual environment. It's really important to create it in virtual environment because if there is no virtual environment, my project cannot be running. Then the last one, install all dependencies. Don't forget install all the dependency in command prompt because it's really, really, really important. Dependency 없으면 the project cannot be run and of course will be made an error. After you clone the repository, I think you need to make sure that your laptop already has a virtual environment. If not, try to install your virtual environment first. Like open your Anaconda command prompt, then type conda created min and TensorFlow Python 3.8, then update the virtual environment conda update min and base min c default conda. Just follow this tutorial. You can create a virtual environment in your laptop. If my presentation tutorial you don't really understand, you can search in internet in YouTube how to create a virtual environment. There is many tutorial in YouTube. 아니면 한국어 유튜브 잘 모르겠지만 조민포 교수의 유튜브 채널 오시면 됩니다. 여기에서 과사 환경 설치하는 거 튜토리얼 비디오가 이미 있습니다. 따라오시면 됩니다. 저희도 처음에 과사 환경 설치할 때도 교수님께 비디오를 따라 했습니다. Then after you clone the repo, created a virtual environment, then the last one is the install all the dependencies in command prompt. This is the dependency that should be installed your laptop if you want to run my project. First, rasa_NLU. Then the second one is Python Telegram bot. The third one is PyPanda doc. The fourth one, TensorFlow. Fifth, rasa.core, then Spacey. You can download it into for English and Bahasa Indonesia. Then pip install Chatterbot. Not pip install Chatterbot. Install Chatterbot. After all the process, open project in Visual Studio. If you have not downloaded the model folder with the pre-trained files, it's mandatory to execute first the train_models.python so it can train the necessary model and store them to be used later. Also, it is possible to automatically generate the dataset that the rasa_NLU is trained on using generate_dataset.python, Python script that's allowed to create a dataset for any language of 3 a fixed size randomly. Although this project is not fully operational yet, but you can see behind the scene of this project, this how the complex this project is. Code 설명, code explanation. 저 저는 이미 다른 비디오 만들었으니까 for the code source code explanation, you just scan this QR code to open my other video to open other video. This video is just about source code explanation. So yeah, if you want to watch source code explanation, just scan this QR code. I think this project is 70% has been completed, even though it cannot be running smoothly. Why? Because if you watch at source code explanation, I made like little bit complex. Like we have if that data, like then I already I already connect the source code and both. Then we have so I can say 70% has been completed, even though it's not 100% completed, but it's my capacity to end this project in 70% for about I did this project for about 3 months, and in 3 months, and it's 70% project. I have planning in Panghak in semester break. I want to learn more about these studies, especially about chatbot, because I have a dream. I want to make a chatbot for patient diagnosis for the mental illness, depression, or other illness. Actually, at first I want to make that because but it's really hard when I look at the tutorial and other project how to do that, and for the diagnosis algorithm is really complicated and need more valid data. So I decide not make it that. I decided to use the easier topic one. to make an event. To use my previous project, Cycling Jogja, to make this chatbot. It's more simpler than illness diagnosis chatbot, but yeah, I think in Panghak I want to study more about chatbot to fulfill my dream. 처음에 이 프로젝트 만들었을 때 계획은 하나하나씩 만들어주고 이 프로젝트 다음에 이렇게 하고 싶고 근데 다 계획대로 진행 잘 안 됐습니다. 왜 그러냐면 저는 또 아직 부족하고 그렇습니다. 저는 부족하기 때문에 이 프로젝트는 100% 완성 못했습니다. This is the difficulties that I encountered during doing this project. In the middle doing my project, my computer was broken and the data was lost, so that I had to start over from the scratch. The first difficulties is 저 잘못입니다. 제가 잘못했습니다. 왜냐하면 프로젝트 진행할 때 백업은 항상 해야 합니다. 프로젝트 진행할 때 항상 GitHub 올려야 하고 G 드라이브도 올려야 하고 data or in computer or other device 또 copy해야 합니다. 왜냐하면 이런 일이 like my computer 갑자기 was broken and the data was lost. I need to there and I haven't picked up it yet, so I need to start over from the scratch. 이거 제가 잘못습니다. And the second one, feeling lonely when doing the project. I've been feeling lonely doing this project because, as you know, I have no one to talk about this project. Of course, the professor give me advice and so on. I can talk to the professor, but what I need is not like what I want is not like that. I just want to someone that can discuss with, not professor, but like friend. Yeah, because I'm doing this project. I'm doing this project individually, so I need to think alone, and have no one to discuss with. And the third one is need a guide who guides technically while working on the project. It is because when I made into difficulty to learn, I want to someone to teach me. Like 예를 들면 저는 이 프로젝트 진행했을 때 에러를 많았습니다. 그 에러를 물론 Stack Overflow에서 or other 웹사이트에서 찾았고 그 에러를 해결했습니다. 그런데 가끔씩 even though I search at Stack Overflow or other website, if I met an error, 해결을 못했습니다. 왜 해결 못하는 거는 저도 아직 beginner이니까 아직 잘 모르고 so I need to someone who teach me, who explain to me why this is happen, why 이렇게는 안 되고 이렇게 이 에러만 있으면 이렇게 해야 되고 그런 것도 있었으면 좋겠습니다. 아직 학생이니까 가이드 필요했습니다. This is the all my presentation. Thank you for 끝까지 들어주셔서 감사합니다. 발표 마치겠습니다. 감사합니다.